we see May and Ivory being sent on a mission to solve a big problem. However, things don't go as planned, and they end up getting trapped. In order to save them, Gojo, Geto, and Shoko are sent to rescue them. After many failed attempts and some careful planning, May and Ivory manage to find a way to escape the trap. Gojo, excited that they're finally free, tells Ivory, "Look, I finally saved you." But this only makes Ivory really angry. Right at that moment, a cursed spirit appears and attacks Ivory. Thankfully, Geto steps in and uses his cursed power to save her just in time. As things calm down, Shoko wraps her arm around Ivory to comfort her, and May, curious about what's happening, asks them about a whale. After hearing this question, the whole group suddenly goes silent, and something seems off. Later, in school, Masamichi asks, "Tell me, whose idea was it to go there without any supervision?" Both May and Ivory point their fingers at Gojo. It's clear that Gojo is the one to blame for their risky adventure. After that, Gojo and Geto are seen playing basketball, enjoying a moment of relaxation. But then, Gojo suddenly says, "I'm really tired of saving people all the time." Geto, not really understanding Gojo's frustration, replies, "Cursed spirits exist to save other cursed spirits." This comment seems to irritate Gojo, and he starts mocking Geto, which only makes Geto more angry. Just as the tension rises, Masamichi walks in and interrupts the moment. He's there to explain a new mission to Gojo and Geto. The mission is serious, and Masamichi's tone changes as he gives them the details. "We've found a cursed plasma vessel for Master Tengen, and you two need to bring it here," Masamichi says. He goes on to explain that this vessel needs to be erased. Masamichi continues, "Master Tengen's powers create a barrier that protects the Jujutsu school and the Jujutsu world itself. But there's something important you need to know about Master Tengen. He has the power of immortality, though he still ages. Over time, Master Tengen's power will require a new compatible body to keep his abilities alive. That's where the Star Plasma Vessel comes in." Masamichi pauses for a moment, making sure they understand the importance of the mission. Every 500 years, Master Tengen needs to merge with a Star Plasma Vessel to avoid becoming a threat to humanity. Without this merge, he risks turning into an enemy. But there's a catch. There are two groups who don't want this merge to happen, and both are targeting the Star Plasma Vessel. The first group is the Kiyao group. They want to send Master Tengen into a different state, changing the entire Jujutsu world. This group is made up of cursed users who have their own plans, Masamichi explains. The second group is a Star Religious group, composed of non-cursed users. They don't want Master Tengen to merge with any impure vessel because they believe it would corrupt him. After that, Gojo and Geto set out on their mission to find the Star Plasma Vessel. Meanwhile, the girl they're looking for is already surrounded by a group of goons. Just as things are about to get worse for her, Geto swoops in and saves her, catching her just in time as she falls. On the other side, Gojo is being his usual playful self, making a mess and mocking one of the members of the Kiyao group. But there's a twist to the story. We find out that all these events are connected to someone named Toji Fushiguro. Toji is a strict, grumpy man, and he's actually the father of Megumi Fushiguro, one of the main characters we know. The shocking part? Toji once sold his own son for money. Toji is doing all this for the money from the Star Religious group. He sent those goons to try to weaken Gojo and mess up their mission. Back to the scene, Gojo is holding the girl, but she suddenly slaps Gojo in the face when he tries to help her. She then starts fighting, showing off a unique fighting style that surprises both Gojo and Geto. Geto tries to figure her out, but instead the girl mocks them both, acting like they're beneath her. At that moment, a girl named Croy appears and tells Riko about Geto and Gojo. Riko, feeling like she's above everyone else now, starts to think of herself as superior, especially after the way Geto and Gojo are treating her. Meanwhile, Riko insists that she should go to school, as if everything is normal. Gojo, clearly worried, asks Masamichi if they really should let her go to school under these circumstances. Masamichi calmly replies that it's actually Master Tengen's order. Tengen wants to fulfill all of Riko's wishes before the merging happens. Hearing this, Gojo gets frustrated and angry. Then, Geto tries to calm Gojo down, explaining that Riko promised she would become the foundation of the barrier after the merging. He tells Gojo that, for now, they should let her enjoy her time with friends and family, because once the merging happens, she won't be able to live a normal life anymore. Meanwhile, Toji, who is working against Gojo, uploads a photo of Riko with a huge bounty of $30 million on a website. His goal is to weaken Gojo's position by turning others against them. At school, 2 cursed users suddenly appear, and Geto's cursed senses immediately detect their presence. Meanwhile, Croy and Gojo head out to search for Riko, while Geto goes after the cursed users. We then see Geto encountering a cursed user who uses a Shikigami, a type of summoned spirit. Using his cursed manipulation technique, Geto attacks an old man who seems to be caught in the middle of all this. The old man fights back, but Geto traps him in an illusion, completely overpowering him in the process. On the other side, Gojo reaches a church while searching for Riko. As soon as Gojo walks in, all the girls inside immediately become infatuated with him. They can't stop staring at him, and even the teacher starts flirting with him, giving him her phone number. This causes all the girls to go crazy for him. Meanwhile, Gojo, staying focused on the mission, takes Riko and leaves the church. But unknown to them, someone is keeping a close watch on their every move. Suddenly, Croy attacks one of the cursed users, taking him down quickly. But with the help of his curses, Geto manages to capture the cursed user with his curse technique, but the cursed user suddenly disappears. To Gojo and Riko's surprise, they are suddenly surrounded by the cursed user's clones. Geto contacts Gojo, informing him that someone has placed a time bounty on Riko. The bounty is set to expire in 2 days, precisely at 11 a.m. With this urgent deadline in mind, Gojo moves forward, and with a quick use of his incredible powers, he sends the enemies crashing into each other. Riko, confused by the situation, asks, "Who's the real one among these clones? They didn't disappear like Shikigami." Gojo calmly replies, "These are all clones, and they're all real." Just then, 2 of the clones rush toward Gojo, but thanks to his immense power, they don't even come close to him. Gojo smirks and says, "You'll never reach me." He continues, "I know your technique. You can only make 5 clones, and every time you're in danger, you transfer your real body into one of the clones." The cursed spirit, stunned, asks, "How did you know all of this?" Gojo looks at the spirit and replies confidently, "Because my eyes aren't just for impressing girls. With my power, anything that tries to reach me moves very slowly, which means it can never get close to me. And when I amplify my limitless technique, everything is pulled toward me." The cursed spirit tries to escape, but Gojo quickly uses his powerful technique to trap him. Then Gojo is about to use his reverse curse technique, Red. Gojo laughs and says, "I failed again," as the situation continues to unfold. Suddenly, a photo of Kuroi being kidnapped appears on Riko's phone, shocking everyone. We then see the group, including Gojo and Geto, saving Kuroi and enjoying some relaxation time at the beach. It seems like a peaceful moment, but Geto interrupts the calm, saying, "Riko's bounty will expire tomorrow. After that, we'll head back to Jujutsu." At that point, Nanami and Haibara arrive to help out, joining the team. Haibara, always the optimist, says, "I'm sure our seniors are also giving their all to save that girl, and we can see their efforts clearly." Geto then looks at Gojo and says, "Since we arrived here, you've been using your technique non-stop on him. Don't you think it's time for you to take a break?" Gojo, unfazed and still full of energy, responds, "This isn't really that tiring of a task, and besides, you're already here." With that, everyone enjoys the rest of the day, relaxing and making the most of the moment. The next day, they return to the Jujutsu school. As they enter, Geto comments, "We're now inside the Jujutsu tech barriers. This place is very safe for us." Just as Gojo turns off his technique, something unexpected happens. Toji, out of nowhere, stabs a sword through Gojo's body. The shock and tension in the air is immediate. Toji then explains, "In the past, I went to meet a boy from the Gojo family who had 6 eyes and the limitless curse technique. That was the first and last time anyone ever felt my presence. That's why I've been working all this time to weaken Gojo." After the intense moment with Gojo, we see Geto quickly capturing Toji using his cursed spirit. He holds Toji in place and tells Gojo what he's done. Gojo, however, remains calm and tells Geto, "Take Riko and Kuroi away from here. Don't worry about me. I've already saved myself with my cursed technique." Geto nods and quickly takes both Riko and Kuroi, leaving the area to keep them safe. Meanwhile, a fierce battle breaks out between Gojo and Toji. Gojo begins to think about Toji's abilities, realizing that Toji has no cursed energy. Instead, because of a technique called Heavenly Impact, Toji now has incredible superhuman strength. Gojo uses his power to throw Toji away, but the situation becomes more complicated. Since Toji doesn't have cursed energy, Gojo cannot sense him anymore. In response, Gojo activates his limitless technique, unleashing a massive force that causes everything around him to be blown away in all directions. But just as things seem to calm down, a barrage of cursed heads suddenly flies toward Gojo, attacking from every direction. Toji, relentless as ever, strikes with his sword, cutting Gojo right down the middle. The impact is so severe that we see Gojo badly wounded, his blood spilling everywhere. The excessive blood loss takes its toll, and it appears that Gojo has died from his injuries. In the midst of this chaos, Geto, now leaving Croy behind, takes Riko and heads toward the Tomb of Star. Upon arriving, Geto turns to Riko and says, "If you go down there, you'll enter another barrier, one that only invited people can pass through. Once inside, you'll need to merge with Master Tengen. But there's another option you should consider. You can go back to Kuroi and live your life peacefully. When we first received this mission, Gojo and I made a promise to protect you, even if you didn't want to merge with Master Tengen. So tell me, what do you want to choose?" Riko, feeling torn and unsure, ultimately decides to stay outside and live in the world, choosing to not go through with the merging. But just as she makes her decision, the atmosphere turns deadly. Toji, who has been watching from the shadows, shoots Riko through the head with his gun, killing her instantly. Geto, shocked and furious, turns to Toji and asks, "How did you get inside?" Toji calmly responds, "If you want to know what happened to Gojo, I'll tell you. I killed him." Hearing this, Geto's anger explodes. He immediately attacks Toji using his cursed spirit technique, but to his surprise, Toji manages to evade the attack. Geto, now even more confused, asks, "How did you manage to get this far?" Toji, almost smug, explains, "I have no cursed energy left. Because of that, I'm like an invisible ghost. No one can sense me. And with my technique, I can easily bypass any barriers, even those set by Jujutsu High. As for killing Gojo, I temporarily blocked his power and hid it inside my body." Geto, still furious and unwilling to back down, asks, "What happened to the girl you met on the way?" Toji shrugs and answers, "I had no reason to kill her. If she's alive, she just got lucky." Despite Toji's calm demeanor, Geto attacks again, this time with even more intensity. But once again, Toji overpowers him, showing just how powerful and dangerous he really is. Geto, though, is determined not to give up. He activates his cursed manipulation technique, explaining, "My technique allows me to absorb and control cursed energy. With it, I can use your energy against you." Toji, after easily defeating Geto, attacks him with his sword, and both of them fall to the ground. Toji, clearly enjoying the moment, laughs and says, "I can't believe someone like me, someone with no cursed energy, managed to defeat all of you so easily." His arrogance is evident as he stands over Geto, the battle taking a dark turn. But Toji isn't finished yet. Next, we see Toji carrying Riko's lifeless body. He takes her to the head of the Star religious group, where the leaders are waiting to discuss her fate. The leader of the group looks at Riko's body and says, "The payment for her will be made as agreed." He continues, explaining the long history of the group's devotion to Master Tengen, saying, "This isn't the first time we've worshipped Master Tengen. We have always honored him. This group was formed after a split among the sources long ago, and now, for the first time in history, a sin was about to happen." The leader pauses for a moment, reflecting on the situation. "Our Master Tengen was about to merge with an impurity. If we hadn't stepped in to stop it, what would we have told our followers? We had the power to prevent it, and we did what we had to do." As Toji leaves from there, he suddenly spots Gojo, and the sight completely shocks him. Toji freezes for a moment, unable to believe his eyes. Gojo, looking calm and composed, speaks up, breaking the tension. "When you attacked me earlier, I poured all my energy into a reverse curse technique. That's how I managed to save myself. I had never been able to use it before, but after getting so close to death, I mastered it. Now you're going to lose because you didn't strike my head when you had the chance." Gojo's words hit Toji hard, and with no time to waste, Toji charges at him again. But Gojo, with his newfound strength, easily dodges Toji's attack and counters with his curse energy reversal red, sending Toji flying backward over a great distance. As Toji struggles to recover, he thinks to himself, Gojo has become a monster. He's starting to use all the applications of Limitless technique now. He has the ability to repel anything that comes near him, the Limitless Curse Amplification Blue and the Reverse Curse Technique Red. Toji smirks slightly, still trying to assess the situation. The good thing is, I can handle all three of these techniques quite easily. Despite Toji's confidence, he charges at Gojo once again. However, Gojo effortlessly dodges the attack, his movements smooth and calculated. As Toji continues his assault, Gojo's thoughts drift for a moment. Riko, forgive me for not being able to do this for you. But what else can I do? The weight of the situation presses heavily on Gojo as he prepares for the next move. Toji, still reeling from Gojo's overwhelming power, begins to reflect on his situation. Right now, this world feels so much different, he thinks to himself. In the world of Jujutsu, when a technique is passed on to someone, there's only one advantage. They're already taught how to use it. But this is also its disadvantage because this knowledge can leak at any time. Looking at you, Gojo, it seems like you've been trained in curse techniques and come from the Zenin clan. That's why you know so much about my technique. Gojo, unshaken by Toji's words, responds, but there's one technique that only a few people from my clan know, and now it's my turn to show you something new. In that moment, Gojo combines his red and blue techniques into an entirely new and powerful technique, purple. He launches it directly at Toji, who watches in awe as the destructive force barrels toward him. Toji, despite the danger, thinks to himself, I've never done anything good in my life, but I fought this battle because in front of me stands the new master of the Limitless technique, the most powerful Jujutsu sorcerer right now. If I defeat him, I could show the Zenin clan how big a mistake they made by rejecting me. But when I tried to achieve the impossible, that's when I lost. As the blast closes in, Toji begins to recall the memories of his son, thinking of the child he's about to leave behind. Gojo, sensing Toji's thoughts, asks him, What's your last wish? Toji's face grows somber as he responds, In 2 or 3 years, my son will be sold to the Zenin clan, so I leave it to you. What do you want to do with him? With that, Toji's life comes to an end, his body falling lifeless to the ground. Meanwhile, Geto, still searching for Gojo, finally reaches the facility of the religious group. We see people applauding as Gojo walks out, carrying Riko's body in his arms. His face is cold, and his expression is hard to read. He looks around at the crowd, feeling nothing but emptiness. Should I kill them all? Gojo says quietly, his voice laced with frustration. I don't understand anything at this moment. Geto, standing nearby, watches his friend and responds calmly. What would be the benefit of that? The one who did all of this has already escaped by now. Gojo doesn't answer. Instead, the scene shifts to a year later. A year has passed, and Gojo has become even more powerful, taking on missions alone. He seems unstoppable, but Geto is left feeling the weight of loneliness. His best friend is changing, and Geto feels conflicted. He wonders if he should help as a non-Jujutsu sorcerer, but he continues to fulfill his responsibilities to his friends, though the incident with Riko still haunts him. In a quiet moment, Geto turns to his junior, Haibara, and asks, Do you think you can continue as a Jujutsu sorcerer? Doesn't it feel difficult sometimes? Haibara pauses, thinking for a moment before responding, I never thought about it that deeply, but I do feel like there's something I can contribute fully to. I don't want to stop. Just then, a new presence enters the scene. Special grade sorcerer Yuki Sokomo walks into the room. Geto, recognizing her, asks, You're the same girl, right? The one who never takes on any missions? Yuki smiles softly and replies, That's right. There's never been any real connection between me and Jujutsu High. Jujutsu sorcerers always fight the symptoms of the curse, but I want to get rid of the disease entirely. I want to completely eliminate curses from this world. She continues, her eyes shining with determination. There are 2 ways to do this. First, as we know, curses are born from negative energy that comes from non-sorcerers. We, Jujutsu sorcerers, have learned how to manage that energy. So one way to tackle this is to teach non-sorcerers how to control curse energy. The second method is to completely remove curse energy from their bodies altogether. One example of this is Toji Fushiguro, who had no curse energy left due to the heavenly curse restriction. Yuki listens intently as Geto explains the idea of completely removing curse energy from non-sorcerers. She then comments, "There is one way to do this easily. Kill all the non-sorcerers." Geto, almost surprised by how quickly she agrees, looks at her. "You think that's a good idea?" he asks. Yuki nods, her expression serious. "We can help the remaining non-sorcerers evolve. If we eliminate them, the ones who survive will likely become sorcerers out of fear. They'll have no other choice. But tell me, Geto, do you hate non-sorcerers?" Geto's eyes turn distant as he reflects on her question. "I used to believe that sorcerers exist to save non-sorcerers. But something happened to me. Something that forced me to question everything. Now, I don't even know what my truth is anymore. Do I want to save them, or do I want to kill them?" Yuki smiles, but it's a bittersweet smile. "Right now, your truth is neither. The day you choose one of these paths, that will become your truth." She turns to leave, but before she goes, she reassures him. "Don't worry about Master Tangen. It seems like he found a new star plasma vessel. That's why he's calm now." As Yuki walks away, Geto is left to think about her words. A moment later, news comes in that Haibara, Geto's junior, has been killed on a mission with Nanami. The weight of this loss hits Geto hard. His mind drifts to a thought. The life of a sorcerer is like a marathon. In the end, death is the only destination for us. Later, Geto is sent on a mission to a village where 2 girls are being held by the villagers, accused of using curse energy. The villagers treat them cruelly, but Geto, enraged by their treatment, kills all the villagers and rescues the girls. When Masamichi and Gojo hear about this, they are shocked. And then we see that Geto comes here to meet Shoko. Then Shoko calls Gojo and tells him that Geto is in Shinjuku. After that, Gojo arrives there and asks Geto the reason for doing all this. Geto stands firm, his expression cold and resolute. "I want to create a world where only Jujutsu sorcerers exist," he replies, his voice filled with conviction. Gojo, standing tall with a serious expression, looks directly at Geto. "Will you kill your own parents for this?" he asks, his tone a mixture of disbelief and challenge. Geto stares at him. "Yes," he replies coldly. Gojo shakes his head in frustration. "It's pointless. It's something you can never do. It's impossible for you." Geto's gaze sharpens as he steps closer, his voice firm. "No, Gojo, it's not impossible. You're still trying to convince me that it's beyond me. But the truth is, you don't understand. Tell me, Gojo, are you powerful because you are Gojo Satoru? Or is it because you are Gojo Satoru that you are powerful?" Gojo is taken aback by the question, but Geto continues without hesitation. "And if I became you, would my thoughts also seem right? I've already decided how I will live my life. Now, it's just about figuring out how to achieve it." With that, Geto turns and walks away, leaving Gojo to reflect on his words. Later, Gojo approaches Masamichi with a troubled look. "Am I powerful?" he asks, the weight of his previous conversation with Geto still hanging heavy in his mind. Masamichi looks at him, nodding with conviction. "Yes, but what's the use of my strength?" Gojo continues, his voice quiet, yet filled with a hint of frustration. "I can only save those who want to save themselves." Meanwhile, Geto is seen manipulating the Star religious group, threatening them until they bend to his will, turning them toward his cause. His influence continues to grow as he moves forward with his plans. Back with Gojo, he finds Megami Fushiguro, Toji's son, and brings up his father's connection to the Zenin clan. "Your father belonged to the Zenin clan," Gojo informs him. "And now, you have the power to see curses. That's why the Zenin clan wants you." Megami listens, his expression neutral but distant. "I don't want to know anything about my father," he responds. "He and Tsukumi's mother abandoned us here. We have no connection to them anymore." Gojo nods, understanding the pain behind his words. "All right, but if you ever want to know more, you can ask me. And tell me, do you want to go to the Zenin clan?" Megami's eyes narrow as he thinks about it. "Will Tsukumi be happy there?" he asks. Gojo hesitates for a moment, then shakes his head. "No, I don't think so." Megami's frustration grows, irritation clear in his voice. "Then why would I go? What's the point?" Gojo smiles slightly, his voice calm but firm. "Don't worry, leave everything to me. And yes, I'll make sure you work hard so you can become stronger than I am." As we transition into the present day, we see Fushiguro, Nobara, and Itadori working together to awaken Gojo from his sealed state. Slowly, Gojo's eyes open, and he starts laughing, his immense power radiating once again. The past arc of Gojo comes to a close, leaving us with anticipation for what's to come next. And with that, we step into the beginning of the Shibuya Incident arc, one of the most intense and thrilling arcs in the entire series. We see that Itadori and Nobara make plans to watch a movie and go shopping. Just then, Fushiguro leaves them and goes away. Itadori then asks Nobara if she wants to watch the movie with him and starts explaining the movie's plot to her. Nobara replies, "What kind of useless movie is this? I don't want to watch it. I am going shopping." So they both go in different directions. Meanwhile, Principal Gakuganji asks for recommendations from Todo and Mei as he wants to make the students great sorcerers. Mei mentions Maki and Panda's names, while Todo mentions Nobara, Fushiguro, and Itadori's names. These 5 are recommended as the great sorcerers. Then, Todo explains that those who have been recommended by 2 or more Great One sorcerers will have to complete missions with the Great One sorcerers, or those who are about to become Great One sorcerers. If they meet certain criteria, they will be promoted to Semi-Great One. After that, they will be given Great One missions, which they will need to complete alone. Based on this, it will be decided whether they will become Great One sorcerers or not. But my best friend will surely be recommended. As long as Sukuna keeps refusing cooperation, the management will continue to increase the danger of missions so that they can collect more of Sukuna's fingers. Then, Todo asks Mei if she knows what this means. Mei refuses to answer, and Todo says, "This is the beginning of a good future. In this future, Todo and Itadori will work together." Mei refuses again, and Todo asks, "Are you trying to say that Itadori and I won't work together?" Then let me tell you this. Just like an apple falls from the tree, in the same way, we attract each other, and that's our destiny. Then Mei says, "What I mean is that the sorcerers who recommend another person can't work together with them." Hearing this, Todo gets sad, and Mei leaves. Then, a girl approaches Nobara and starts asking about Itadori. She shows Nobara a photo of herself with Itadori. Nobara says, "Is this really you?" The girl replies, "After graduation, I grew 15 centimeters. After coming to Tokyo, I felt a lot of pressure from my surroundings, and that's why I changed. I took this photo with Itadori with a lot of courage. I even wanted to ask for his phone number that day, but for some reason I didn't. After that, I came to Tokyo. When I saw Itadori today, I thought maybe I have another chance." Then Nobara, surprised, says, "So, do you mean that?" The girl replies, "Yes." Nobara then calls Ichichi and asks her to bring Fushiguro back. After that, Nobara says to the girl, "The boy who knows Itadori better than I do is about to arrive. So, before you talk to Itadori, you should talk to him first." The girl responds, "Are you interested in him as well?" Nobara replies, "Absolutely not! Even if the world is falling apart, that is impossible." Then, Nobara feels something in her chest. We see Fushiguro arriving there. Nobara asks him, "Do you know if Itadori has a girlfriend or not? Because this girl, Yuko Ozawa, wants to meet him." Fushiguro asks, "Do you mean that?" Nobara replies, "Yes." Fushiguro responds, "I don't think he has a girlfriend, because whenever we asked him about coming to Tokyo, he didn't seem too stressed. Also, there's a photo of a celebrity in his room, and I don't think a person who has a girlfriend would do something like that." Then, Yuko asks Fushiguro about Itadori's type, and Fushiguro says, "Itadori once mentioned that he likes tall girls." Nobara, while cheering with Yuko, says, "That means you still have a chance." Then she suggests, "Let's call Itadori." We see that Itadori arrives very quickly. Then Nobara thinks, "I made a big mistake. I didn't even tell Itadori who this girl is, and after such a huge change, Itadori might not even recognize her." At that moment, Yuko becomes sad, thinking Itadori won't recognize her. But we see that Itadori actually does recognize her. Next, we see Itadori's interaction with Yuko in the past, where some school kids ask Itadori about his favorite girl. Itadori refuses to answer, and one of the boys says, "If you have to choose someone, whose name will you take?" Then Itadori mentions Yuko's name. Itadori's friend then says, "But she's too fat." "So what? But her manners and handwriting are very nice," Itadori replies. Yuko thinks, "Girls' weight increases quickly, but I was born chubby, but I won't choose someone who doesn't choose me. Itadori has seen a side of me that I didn't even know about, but I hate all the other boys except him. Maybe I do have a chance." But if I think about it, in the end, I've just lived the life I hated. Then, we see Itadori saying goodbye to Yuko and leaving. Fushiguro says, "Is it okay to leave without exchanging numbers?" Nobara responds, "He has my number, so everything will be fine." Then she continues, "Fushiguro, I understand my feelings now. If he becomes someone else's boyfriend before I become his girlfriend, then I will feel really bad." Just then, Itadori comes over. They all go to help him, and he starts running to go watch the movie. Both of them run with him, and here, Aori is thinking about Gojo's words, who told her to investigate the Kyoto school. Then, Nobara, Itadori, and Fushiguro arrive. Aori says, "Gojo must have told you about the betrayal. In my opinion, there are two people who can work with the curse users. One is at a higher level than the principal, and nothing can be done against him, and the other is the one who gives news to the higher-ups. So we will target him. Now we need to capture him for interrogation." Then Nobara asks, "So, who is the one from Kyoto school?" We then see Miwa asking for the report from Mekamaru. Mekamaru replies, "I'm sorry, Miwa. I need to sleep right now. The report is on the table. You can take it." Then Mekamaru falls asleep, and Miwa says he's really asleep. But where is his real body? Aori then takes all of them to Mekamaru's real body and says, "Actually, we don't doubt him, but apart from him, we can't suspect anyone else. We've chosen to target him using the elimination method. Mekamaru's curse technique is puppet manipulation, and due to the heavenly restriction, his puppet control range covers all of Japan. As long as these registered puppets exist, he can freely act as a traitor." Then Itadori says, "But I think he is clearly visible." Aori replies, "What would happen if a puppet were as small as a fly or a mosquito?" Itadori responds, "Is that so?" They then reach Mekamaru's room, and when they enter, they can't see anyone inside. Aori says, "We've been deceived." Nobara then says, "It means Mekamaru is the traitor." And here we see Geto and Mahito coming to meet him. Mahito says, "This place is so useless. I really don't like coming here at all. In the end, this is our enemy, so shouldn't we just kill him?" Then Geto responds, "Not now. The information he gave us, in return for that, we need to use your cursed energy to heal his body. That was the deal between us. So if we need to kill him, we must heal him first. I also hope that he will be useful to us in Shibuya." Then Mekamaru says, "You won't attack any member of Kyoto School because you are the ones who made a promise to us." Mahito then replies, "It was all Hanami's fault." Finally, Mekamaru says, "I won't fight any cursed spirit, so hurry up and heal me, you ordinary insects." Then Mahito says, "I feel like if I move forward by mistake, I might end up turning him into an insect." Geto responds, "Promises made between others are different from the promises made to ourselves. The difference is that when broken, there's a punishment. And if you break your own promise, you'll lose everything you have and everything that makes you strong. But right now, I don't know what will happen if we break our promise." Then we see Mahito fully heal Mekamaru, restoring his hands and legs to normal. Mahito asks, "So, are you not happy now?" Mekamaru replies, "Let's talk after everything is over." Mahito responds, "All right, let's begin." Then Mekamaru gets ready to fight, and with the help of his puppets, starts attacking Mahito. We then see Mahito breaking the puppets one by one. But by the time Mahito looks up, Mekamaru has disappeared. Mahito then says, "This is too boring. I just wanted to play with him." Then we see a huge explosion at the spot where Mahito was standing. After that, Mekamaru transforms into his ultimate form. Mahito exclaims, "This is amazing! So, you didn't just sit back and relax. He must have hidden something because he didn't want me to touch it. Maybe his location is inside its head." Mekamaru then says, "A veil has been applied here. Looks like it's Geto's doing. He hasn't just stopped me, but has also blocked my radio waves. I don't think I'll be able to handle this like Gojo. And if I'm honest, the only thing that supports my victory is Gojo. So at any cost, I must contact Gojo and inform him about Shibuya's plan. But if I focus on this veil and Geto, then Mahito becomes the biggest threat to me." He continues, "I must finish this first. I might not have any advantages, but I still have a chance. He thinks I've been watching everything, and the people who held me back have given me so much cursed energy. Now, I can win without putting in any effort." Then he attacks Mahito, and with that, the episode ends. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and comment on what you thought about this episode. make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications so you never miss an update on our latest videos. I'll see you soon in the next video. Thank you!